Let me tell you the story of how through guerrilla warfare, I was able to help bring down the largest and most tyrannical tribe on the server. The story started off with me and the character creator. As I molded every beautiful little roll of fat on my chubby little guy, I was excited for the journey ahead. What friends, stories, and tales would I make today? With my character now made, I spawned in on the beach, eager for what was to come. But almost as soon as I spawned in, there was a problem. You kidding me? Fucking dickhead. A tribe had blocked off the explorer's note. And not just this one either, but all the others in this area. You see, what I was trying to do was a commonly used strategy called a note run. You see, what you do with this is you just go to an area that has a high density of notes, and you run and collect all of them. And each one you get gives you a good amount of XP. This way, when you're starting out, you don't have to start out as a level 1, you can start off as level 60 or 70. And trust me, being level 1 sucks. It's a rough world out there. And by blocking these off, what they're basically doing is killing off your ability to even start on the server. And this wasn't even some slapped together 2-minute job that they did. They were using metal structures to block these notes off, meaning they'd invested a decent amount of resources into fucking over new players. And something about this really got my goat. The strongest and most powerful people on the server picking on the weakest and least established tribes. It didn't affect them one way or the other if I grabbed this note or not, but they still went out of their way to make sure I couldn't. I decided in this moment, right here and now, knowing nothing else, having been on the server for exactly 2 minutes, I was going to bring these guys down. If they were going to go out of their way to fuck me over, I'd do the exact same to them. And this tribe's name was Precum, which, like, yeah, awesome name, guys. Good job. Good job with that one. And before I could even dream of doing any damage to them, I first had to set up my own base. So, with the base location already in mind, I set off. Having now made it to the spot, it was time to get the resources and get my house made. Home, sweet home. Nestled deep into the woods and hidden by thick foliage, I constructed my base. One that would be protected not by the strength of its walls or the constitution of its defenders, but rather, simply never being found at all. From here, I could safely store and refine materials for the war that I would soon start with Precum. And you know what, I might catch a little flack for this, but honestly, I kind of liked it because it was cozy on the inside. On the workbench inside my fancy little Ted Kaczynski shack, I was able to craft myself metal tools and armor. A little... Oh no! Hey, looking good, Albertus, looking good, buddy. Having now donned my ill-suiting metal armor, I set out in search of a pterodon to tame. Go. Tamed. Mounting my newly tamed pterodon, I took to the skies. Due to its quick speed, I'd be able to cover lots of ground and find Precum's base quickly, so I started searching. And after scouring most of the map, I finally found them. Precum! Then I did like a U-2 spy plane fly over their base to kind of get a good idea of what we were cooking with here. Having finally gotten a good look at their base, I was able to come to terms with what I was up against. Precum was made up of 6 members and had built their base inside a cave. Inside this cave, they would house their most valuable items, and just outside of it, they would have their main industrial area where they would do most of their processing. Here's a map I've made of their base layout. The black line signifies any cliff faces, The red line indicates the outer perimeter wall they were in the process of building. Any areas in light red indicate an area where they have land claim. This was the area where their structure claim extended. I could move freely within this place without any issue, but they were the only ones who could build here. And yellow indicates plant species X, a very inexpensive form of automated defense that automatically fires on anyone that gets in its range. However, the projectiles are slow, so with a little bit of finesse I could move a little bit through this area, and if I could find a blind space, I'd be safe. The dark red area, however, indicates turrets, a much more expensive form of automated defense. If I went into this range, I would die instantly. Simply put, this is a no-go zone. A direct attack on this base would be impossible, but that doesn't mean the situation is hopeless. While this tribe currently was the most established and richest, there were other tribes competing for this position. If I could dedicate my efforts to slowing this tribe down and doing enough damage that the other tribes could catch up and eventually overtake them in terms of progress, these guys would be done for. So I would adopt a guerrilla warfare campaign where I would strive to both delay and demoralize them. If I could make their life hell to the point that they wouldn't even want to hop on and play anymore, that would be a perfect way to hamstring them. And looking at the map, there was already two vulnerabilities it could exploit. The first was that they were clearly trying to encircle their whole base in a series of walls, but they had only started. And the northern section had not been properly land claimed. So I got to work. Quickly farming up some stone foundations, I was able to claim this land. So when they went to go finish their wall, they'd have to spend a bunch of time and resources on clearing my land claim. Even better, as I'd been scouting around and looking for this tribe, I'd noticed that every big tribe on the server had either built at the base or top of a mountain, and Precum was no exception. And this is because mountains are one of the few places in the game where you can find metal, which is the lifeblood of any big tribe. Everything from armor to weapons to bullets to structures all requires metal. So I also went ahead and spammed foundations and claimed the entirety of the mountain. This way, metal wouldn't even spawn on their mountain anymore. And so now anytime they wanted to go out and get metal, they'd have to fly to another tribe's mountain and hopefully not get jumped while mining there. And for good measure, just across the mountain, I set up my own tiny little base. I made efforts to hide it as best as I could, but I had no delusion that this base would survive for a long time. So any good loot would be transported right back to my main base far, far away from here. And this would just be a little forward operating base, I guess. And now with all my little pieces in place, it was time to do something a little more direct. These dumbasses had left a really obvious blind spot in their turrets that looked right into their base. And I was going to make full use of this. From here, using my spyglass, I was able to see tames that had been left unguarded from this one specific angle. This was a golden opportunity, so I seized it. Hundreds of bullets later, the mighty beast was felled. A Tyrannosaurus Rex lay stricken. And not just any Rex either. A female breeding Rex. This was a very important kill, and would seriously set them back in setting up their own army of Rexes. With that done, I headed out to log out for the day. This wouldn't be a quick war, and I was in it for the long haul. Today had been a good opener, and only time could tell what would come next. On day 2, I woke up famished. I was starving. Unluckily, overnight, almost like I was Santa or something, Precum had left me a tasty little treat. You see, they wanted to beef up their security, so they were growing more plant species X. However, it takes 12 real-life hours between planting it to when it can actually start firing. And in that time, you have to keep it stocked up with fertilizer. And you know what? My chubby little ass was craving some fertilizer right about now. Okay, we can just steal these. Eat them. As I sat gorging myself in their base, Using my orbit cam, I was able to see that they were nearby and they had no clue I was here. But of course, that wasn't going to stop me. Yummy.
Doesn't this look incredible? Okay.
So there I was, crawling through the mud just so I could go and eat nitrogen fertilizer that was literally in the dirt. All the meanwhile, the owners of the base were flying up above in giant bugs, unaware of what was going on. Now this, frankly, absurd situation was going to be a great detriment to their defenses. Not only was I wasting fertilizer, which is kind of a pain in the ass to get, but I was also killing off the plant species X, which had already grown a decent amount. Once again, their defenses were being delayed, because I guarantee you no other tribe on the entire server had a fat rat crawling through, eating their fertilizer. And then I found a baby that they left exposed, and I literally shot it to death. Not my proudest moment, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, technically it was a juvenile, but that's not gonna hold up in court, is it? Oh, you can see him. He's out. Oh, he's chopping trees and shit down. He's looking for me. Yeah, he's fucking chopping trees down looking for me. Now, at the same time as Precum was off fruitlessly searching for me in the forest, my buddy Donkey had hopped on. Albert was no longer alone. And just as he hopped on, we noticed something pretty weird.
Who the fuck blocked off the tech node, guys? Wait! We love Albertus! The guy in chat, that's the guy.
Precum had changed their name to We Love Albertus. This acid-tongued, sarcastic tribe name change was pretty weird, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm just gonna keep calling them Precum. Clearly by now, I was on their radar and they were out for blood. However, I wanted to log out for the day soon, and I was concerned that while I was gone, Precum would search out and find my hidden base. So I concocted a pretty genius scheme. I went a little bit further south from their base and constructed a shitty little 2x1. Inside of it, I put a smithy, a furnace, a campfire, everything to make it seem like it was my real base. And because they were now unaware that Donkey had joined me, I had him play the imaginary part of a third-party tribe that I had beef with. He then leaked my real base location. And before long, the base had been torn to shreds and everything inside of it had been thrown to the floor to rot away. They didn't want my stuff, they just wanted to make sure I couldn't have it. So now, with them under the illusion that Albert had finally been dealt with, I logged out for the day, confident they wouldn't bother looking around anymore. As I had been peacefully sleeping through the night, all the members of Precum had been hard at work. They had finished completely enclosing their base with a series of gates. They'd also built 2 new generator rooms with turrets on top of them in my previous sniping spot so I'd never be able to shoot their tames again. And worst of all, they had created a grotesque industrial forge area. One of these forges on their own is incredibly expensive, but 8 of them, all just dedicated to smelting metal even faster. With this move, Precum had clearly indicated that they were in it for the long haul. And looking at the map, you can see how bloated their turret range had truly become. But of course, I had a plan for this. After pulling an all-nighter, where they had spent the entire night mining metal rocks and chopping trees, I was willing to bet that these guys weren't too hot on playing Ark right now. So our goal would be to find that straw that would break the camel's back to finally make them go offline. So here's the conclusion we came to. We'd found one of the new turret towers they built was out of gas. As a result, the turret was offline. This would be an easy problem for them to fix, as soon as they noticed it. However, while this turret was down, we could crawl very, very close to their main base. And then from there, we would set off these annoying ass, loud ass tripwire alarms. Won't do any actual damage to their base, but might just be what we need to kill the resolve to even play the game. If you want to set him off, now would not be a bad time. He's in like the annoying range. Hide, bro, hide. He's up and on the bug, bro. He's looking. Shit, stay low, stay low, stay low. Bro, tell me you're in a good spot, bro.
I'm not in a good spot. Noticed that so quickly. He is fucking scared.
Because the guy had failed to spot us after setting off a bunch of really loud alarms, we were able to sit here and using orbit cam, which allows you to rotate around your character, we were able to just peer over the edge and safely watch him. And that's when we saw something that really piqued our interest.
Why is he on the Rex?
I don't know. This is weird. Is he going on a meat run? The dumb bastard hopped on his Rex and he was now going to go outside his walls to gather some meat. But the stupid bastard had also left his giant flying bug exposed. The same giant bug that they had consistently used to patrol around their base. We didn't really have any gear and especially no guns on us right now, but we had crossbows. And maybe, just maybe, we could do something with those. Careful. I hit it.
You're hitting, right?
Yeah, I'm hitting. We loosed arrow after arrow into its thick carapace, just hoping and praying that we'd be able to kill it before he came back. Yes, he's down! And of course, with that done, now it was time to rub salt in the wound. Oh, he's on me with the fucking Procop. I'm gonna spam the alarms as he hits me, he sets them off. Alarm so he hits it.
And you can see my name. I'm going to make you sure. Albert, yes, bring a kit, quick,
Why?
quick, and bring some bolas. He's building like a new fucking fob, a new turret tower, but he's so slow when you set shit up.
Okay,
He stands
okay.
when you're setting shit up.
I'm spawning on the nearby bed. With the giant bug now dead, Precum was forced to use a kangaroo, and he was currently by the turret tower trying to refuel it and get it back online. He thought he was safe because he just killed me. He wasn't aware that we had a base so close, or even that there was two of us now. This was the perfect chance for an ambush, so I quickly threw together some basic gear and readied my bolas. If I could hit him with one of these, he'd be immobilized for 30 seconds in easy pickings.
You can easily bola him off.
How long do I have?
He's like halfway done with it, just really quick.
Okay. Alright, listen, I'm coming over with literally just torches in a bowl as fast as I can.
He's coming, quick. He's going to finish it now. Go.
Oh fuck, I don't have stamina, I'm running.
It's now or never, dude.
He picked up that turret? Why? I bullet him! Get him! He's in the fucking Procoptodon sack! He's on fire, just keep him set alight. No way! Are you kidding me? The ambush had gone off perfectly, but through luck he had managed to survive. This hadn't all been for nothing though. We managed to stop him from setting the turrets back online. He'd have to come back up here, and we'd be ready. Alright, I'm gonna kit up a little more. Can you keep an eye? Tell me if he comes back.
He's back. Look up the dome.
Okay.
And he's going to place it down when it's on the Procoptodon. Oh, he doesn't stand still anymore. We gave him PTSD. Just go. Go.
Okay, this is dumb. I don't see. Is he in the thing? What the fuck? We failed to jump him, and he was now on the back of his kangaroo. This was bad. Okay, if we can make him run away, we can break the gen. I'm trying to, like, place it. I bullet you. I'm sorry, bruh.
No, you...
Alright, just keep your shield up. You'll fucking make it. I bullet him. I'd gotten him with the Hail Mary shot, and this time, luck wasn't going to save him.
Go beat his ass.
Fucking beat on his He's trying to place the turrets right now. He's dead. I'm gonna help you with the Procop. We have like a minute, bro. Do you think we can kill it on time?
Yeah, 100%.
It's dead. Okay, help me loot his shit. Take some of his shit, dude. He's juiced. We quickly stripped his rich body, leaving not a single item behind. And then, we once again disappeared off into the woods. Once I was far enough in the woods, I despawned all their items. I had no use for them, and I certainly wasn't going to take the chance that they got them back. How humiliating. To lose two of your most maneuverable tames in such a quick time span to naked men with crossbows and torches. And I think Precum agreed, because after this, he hopped offline. And you know, the thing about it is, when the owners leave, the rats come out to play. Naturally, I started by eating all the fertilizer again, once again resetting all the plants' growth. A process that should have taken only 12 hours had now taken more than 36, and they were still at square one. After this, we checked a nearby cave system and found that Precum was setting up either a second base or maybe some kind of outpost here. However, since it was in its infancy, just like the baby I shot and killed, we broke into here and robbed them blind. After this, we found a redwoods tree that had a platform of theirs with a couple tree taps on it. So we destroyed them. You know, nothing huge, but they are a decent amount of metal to craft. And as a cherry on top, we grabbed a handful of crossbows, a literal couple thousand arrows, and found a blind spot between the turrets and Plant Species X, and fired those thousands of arrows into their tames, killing whatever we could. I mean, we fired so many fucking arrows, I set up a macro literally just to left click for me, because I got so tired of doing it myself. With this done, we headed out to log out for the day. And what a humiliating day had been for Precum. But something told me things were only going to get worse for them. Shortly after we had logged out, one of the bigger tribes on the server had sensed the opportunity we had created by forcing Precum to log off, and what they had done was raided and attacked an area that we had nicknamed the Mines of Moria, named after the homeland of the dwarves in Lord of the Rings due to its weird subterranean nature. Basically, they had just blocked off both ends of a tunnel and then put stuff on the inside next to their main base. As far as we could tell, this base was mainly used for holding tames. And in between the attack on it and us logging back online, Precum had made some hasty repairs to it. But something told me we should take a look. Who knew? Maybe we could twist the knife a little bit. So we have the C4, we can just blow a metal wall and go spelunking if you want. In the mines.
Hey, you want to go spelunking, little buddy? I'm fully
I want to go spelunking so bad.
Okay, spelunking, dude.
So we quickly geared up and set off for the section of the base that hadn't properly been repaired. Right here. Rats crawling under the floorboard. I hear shit in there, bro. You hearing this? Alright, move over.
Beam. Not so close.
Okay, what's the turret situation? In their repairs, they had also placed a new turret inside. This was bad. In a quarter of a second, Donkey had been almost killed, but I had an idea. So, I decided to use the inbuilt photo mode. Hey, look, what's your flag?
My pants was broken from the toilet.
That's a heavy, fuck. This was a heavy automated turret. There was no chance we could attack this thing directly. I had to find some alternative route of attacking it. Okay, we can breach in from the higher levels and they have... Using photo mode, I was able to see that they had their generator on a separate level with no turrets. If we could get to the generator and turn it off, the turret would lose power.
Yeah, I know, that's why I said don't go. Yo, dude, this is like a... Let's go. Will you throw the grapples down?
Alright, generator is powered off. You're free to come in. And they're just like rats crawling our way into a car. We got to chewing on the wires. In this case, that meant breaking every electronic device in this base.
Don't you wonder why that... Alright.
We'd certainly done a good chunk of damage now, but something told me we could do more, so I once again went into photo mode and started looking. I'll check. Yeah, I mean this is the other. Yeah, look at my stream.
Yeah, I know, I see it. It's the outside. So.
Well, let me see if there's anything we can do from here, maybe. Yeah, anything else? We're gonna get shot by like 5 heavies, which. Ooh, dude, look at this, bro. You want to break in their crops? A horrible oversight in their base design had meant that their greenhouse was connected to the Mines of Moria, meaning we just might be able to find a way to the greenhouse without being shot by the turrets. There's like a hole. Do you think maybe I could grapple up from like here? Is over. Oh, dude, I'm in. That was something about that wall coming down was scary. Ooh, you want some food down there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I'm throwing you some carrots.
Yo.
We in the veggie section now, boys. The veggies are back on the menu. All that stood between me and instantaneous death at the hands of like 40 auto turrets was like a half-inch of glass. So I didn't waste too much time here. So I rigged the whole greenhouse to blow up and got out of there quick as I could.
Wait, let me go to photo mode so I can watch the countdown, count it down.
3, 2, 1. Goodbye! With the greenhouse now having been completely ruined, we headed out, with a true bounty of crops now in our possession. And because we didn't want them to know they had a hole under their gates that we could crawl under, we blew up a second one to make it look like we'd actually gone through there. It's crazy.
That's actually so big. That's so stupid, dude.
Now returning back, we were able to see that the industrial forge area they had created had been destroyed overnight. With this metal carcass hanging above us, we were also able to identify that the eastern side of their base had poor land claim. So, we got to work.
Go.
Did I get all of them?
Oh, my PC just blew up. What the fuck?
Right? Destroying their land claim and placing our own in its place, they now not only had a hole in their wall, but also one that they couldn't even fix. And as an added bonus, all kinds of creepy little swamp critters could now crawl in through the hole we had made. Not gonna kill them or anything, but it's gonna be pretty fucking annoying. Overnight, they had also powered on the turret that they had lost so much yesterday trying to turn on. This turret wasn't really defending their base or getting in our way in any meaningful fashion, but it was a symbol at this point, so it had to go. Got it. It's down. Fucking 334 bullets. Despawn. And with this, we marked the end of today's activities. And at this point, pitiful barely begins to describe the situation Precum had found themselves in. Due to our constant attacks and annoyances, they were logging on for fewer and fewer hours. At this point, I very much so doubted that Precum could even be considered the biggest tribe on the server anymore. Crawling amongst the ruins of their now destroyed industrial forge area directly above their base, I was able to find a blind spot from the plant species X. From here, I could go into photo mode and literally just spy on him inside his own base. And through photo mode, I was able to see how truly low they had sunken. Precum was at their lowest point, and I was at my highest. So here was my plan. From here, I would watch him. As soon as he began to leave the safety of his turrets, I would kill myself, respawn at my local base, where I had a PT and gear for a fight. And since I knew exactly what direction he was going, I could just jump him. He's going out that gate. Tear down jumping time. Finding him deep in the swamp on his Rex, away from his turrets, I knew it was time to strike. Realizing he stood no chance, he quickly retreated back to the safety of his turrets. But he'd have to return back outside eventually. He was just hoping that this had been an unlucky encounter, and the next time he went out, I'd have no idea he was there. But I knew exactly when he'd be leaving and in which direction he was heading, so I went to jump him again. He was once again forced to retreat to the comfort of his turrets, and I once again returned to my creep spot, but this time I saw something pretty interesting. He's getting his shit pushed in by a wild Troodon, that's hilarious. And he just fell asleep. Outside his base, he was getting jumped and thrown around by me. And inside his base, he was getting bullied and knocked out by wild dinos. What a steep fall for a tribe that only a couple days ago was on top of the world. And in their seemingly ceaseless decay, they had allowed another one of their turret towers to go offline. So, I abused that by sniping and killing 2 of their sleeping members, just to make sure they really got the message. Now, we let a little bit of time pass to give them that false sense of security, and in that time Donkey had hopped on, and with him now manning the creep spot, and me already sitting on the pterodon, just waiting to go, we were in the perfect position to jump them.
Keeping eyes in the sky.
Okay, is he going towards the redwoods?
Yep.
I'm on my way. Picked him.
Nice.
He's falling.
Dead. So do it again. Do it again.
And once again, they were forced to run home. Think about it from Precom's perspective. I was everywhere and nowhere. Every time there was a vulnerability in their base's defenses, we were always there to exploit it, yet they could never get rid of us. And now they were getting jumped every single time they stepped foot outside their house. 5 days ago, these guys were on top of the world, building over the notes just to fuck us over. And today, they were scared to even leave their house. I almost even felt bad for them. Almost. So with Precom now a shadow of its former self and racked with paranoia at the idea of even stepping foot outside, we left them for the day. It was finally over. We had won. Our tactics of delaying them and making them not even want to play the game had worked. Their progress had been slowed down so much that the other tribes had overtaken them, and as a result, they got raided. And what a sweet victory it was. 2 guys living out of literal stone shacks in the woods had prevailed and even outlasted against a tribe of 6 people that lived in a gigantic metal fortress. But you know, it still felt like something was missing. So, it was time to go back to where this had all started. At those damn notes. Here we are, where it all began. Server was free. We had won.